I made a bad mistake on Friday. I got into a trade that wasn't great, and I did it with 3 times the size I normally do, and I didn't use my stop. So why the hell would I do something like that, especially when I'm obsessing over, after a good little streak I've had, not giving back a bunch of money, and that's exactly what I did, is I gave back a big chunk of the streak, and really, really irritating. So a couple observations I think that people can learn from this, because everyone does this stuff. You always think it shouldn't happen, and then sometimes it gets you anyway. So here's the breakdown of how I think it happened. I normally find a few trades a week, and I'm used to being super active, but I'm less active these days, but still I'm not doing nothing for many weeks usually. And I hadn't done anything for a few weeks. And I'm having a child soon, so I'm assembling furniture and doing things around the house. I'm a little bit distracted, and I kind of just felt a little off. So the first trade that popped up that I saw that was okay, that was marginal, I jumped all over it with 3 times the size, and I decided to go work in a different location. So I kind of said, I'll put my stop in when I get to my location. So I was away from the market for a few hours, and the trade just aggressively moved against me all day, and it ended up being a mistake on a lot of levels. I think the trade, I got into it at a bad spot too soon because I was anxious. I did it with 3 times the size when it was just an average trade, and then I didn't have my stop. So everything went wrong. So the loss was like 5 times more than it probably should have been for that trade. It wasn't even that the trade was that bad as much as all the other stuff was that bad. So now it's like, okay, you have to deal with that loss. So what do? Well, it takes the life out of you for a day. Everyone knows how that feels who trades. And it's like the ankle rolling or the broken leg analogy. It's you roll your ankle, you can walk on it and you're okay. Usually you can shake it off. If you break your leg, you fall out of a window and break your leg. If you try to run on that leg before it heals, then you got a serious problem. So I'm somewhere between breaking my leg and rolling my ankle. It's a very serious ankle injury. Maybe I didn't break my leg, but I'm going to have to put some ice on it and not run too fast for a while. This is pretty much the analogy here, meaning that back to very disciplined type risk management strategies, what I was doing all along, and getting back on the horse that way. So another big thing to take away is I'm a very artistic, creative trader. I find a lot of my trades with sentiment and with different areas of life and listening to how people think and feel about the market. There's a lot of using stupid news. There's a lot of ways I find trades, and it's not very scientific. But what needs to be scientific is my sizing and my loss management, my risk management. So what I've been doing when I'm artistic with those things, I have big, big problems. So we want to keep that creative stuff going because that's how I trade. I'm a creative, discretionary trader, kind of like an artist in some ways. I'm not a mechanical trader when it comes to that, but I need to be more mechanical on the other side of things. So that's the huge takeaway. And I'm going to spend this weekend making a checklist and hammering out some rules to take care of that. And you do this stuff. I've been doing this for 17 years. You do this stuff time and time again, and a few years go by, you need to have a refresher because you run into the mistake again. So it's discouraging, it's irritating, and it's a really stiff price to pay for a few mistakes that I made, and mostly they're psychological in nature. That's the way these things get after you learn the technicals and you learn your strategy. It ends up being like a psychological game, paying attention to your energy, paying attention to where you are in your life, and I got caught. So that's that, and that's what I'm going to do about it.